Hey, Steve Imke here of SteveBizBlog. Hey, today I'd like to talk to you about licensing requirements for a particular business. I think a lot of times people get confused about what licensing actually is. Licensing is essentially when some government agency gives you permission to do something. Now, typically what happens is you might have licensing as respect to sales tax license, which essentially is the government giving you, or specifically the state and the county and the city, giving you permission to collect sales tax on their behalf. But what I think a lot of people think about when they think of licensing is a business license. And oftentimes a business license exists in what we call an occupational database. And there's three reasons primarily that government entities want to register or license a particular entity. For one is the government may have a fiduciary duty for the population to keep an eye on that particular industry. A good example of that might be restaurants. And so we have a health department which wants to go in and look at the back office or the back area of a restaurant to make sure there's not cockroaches and that they follow certain sanitary requirements. So they require that if you're a restaurant that you have to go to the occupational database and you have to register yourselves so that they can send out a health inspector periodically, because the government has a fiduciary duty to protect the public in those types of situations. Another reason that we often require licensing is because there are certain industries that include bad actors. A good example is construction contractors. A lot of times we have construction people who want to hang on a shingle and they're not licensed to go off and do that, and so we don't really want you to hire somebody who will build you a house or build the deck, and turns out that the person has really no skills with respect to construction, and then you get hurt because your entire deck collapses because they don't understand how to actually build a deck. So what we do is the government will try to go ahead and protect you from bad actors, in certain industries such as construction are also required to be have a specific license to go do that. And the third reason is that many businesses will have lobbied government officials to create a threshold for people to get into that particular industry. A great example of that is the barbering industry. Let's face it, if you're a barber and you're really bad at it, you probably will not be in business very long, because you can't do horrible damage to somebody by giving them a bad haircut. But barbers, it's pretty easy to become a barber. The barbers all got together. They created a lobbying group and went to the different state organizations and said, what we would like to do is we want to create a licensure for barbers, and therefore you can't just hang out a shingle and become a barber. So in conclusion, there's basically three reasons that government entities would probably want to license a particular business. You would be able to find those in the occupational database of your particular state, and the three reasons are fiduciary duty from the government to go ahead and look at these particular entities for the good of the public, to be able to weed out bad actors, to determine which ones actually have some type of a certification, when without a certification they might put individual clients in peril. And the last one is what I will call thresholds, or a bar that prevents people from actually getting into an industry, especially industries that are don't require a significant amount of skills, maybe, and talents to actually get in, as well as some others that do provide skills and talents. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.